For the third Sunday of Lent, we hear the account of the woman at the well and Jesus, and there's a lot behind this story from the conflict between the Judeans and the Jews and the Samaritans. Harkening back to some things that I've mentioned before. When the northern tribes were carried off into exile, they were forced to intermarry and intermingle with the pagan cultures, and they really lost the purity of their Jewish faith. And so the two tribes in the south, Judah and Benjamin, really didn't see them as Jews anymore because they had a syncretistic sort of faith. So there's a divide there, and they kind of hate each other. So even that the fact that Jesus encounters this woman and addresses her and speaks with her, she's so confused at the fact that he would have that encounter. So there's that bit, kind of background in the beginning there too. But there's also the spiritual history and spiritual reality of the moment. So when you look through the stories in the scriptures of how the patriarchs found their spouses, the preeminent, if you will, or just the most well-known story would be Jacob and Rachel at the well. That's where a patriarch goes to find his wife, is at a well. So here you have this story of Jesus and this woman at the well, and on the surface it's like, okay, well, if Jesus is getting married, he's going to find his wife at the well, and in some ways he does, and in some ways he doesn't. The woman is representative of humanity, if you will, and he says she's got all these different husbands, and none of them are her true husband. It's true, she's been worshiping the world. She's been worshiping humanity, if you will. She's been worshiping these false gods. Another just neat point. The word for husband there and false god is the same word. So, a dual meaning sort of thing here. So, as he fulfills this encounter and promises the living water, he's promising her a true husband and promising her a true God. That's what he's saying that he is true God and true husband, the one that would fulfill the fulfillment and desire of her heart. So, in a particular sense, this isn't about Jesus's wedding. It's not about that. He's not going to marry this particular woman, but she is representative of all of humanity and our desire and our movement from false gods to false gods, and ultimately the fact that we can only find the true God, we can only find our true fulfillment in Jesus alone. And so that promise of life-giving waters, that's why I'm here before the baptismal font. We find ourselves united to the maker and husband of humanity through baptism. All of us collectively are brought into that body of Christ and united with God through these living waters that then well up within us throughout our entire life of faith, and we draw from them to be satisfied by Jesus' life within us. So it's there's a lot there. There's a lot more that could be said, but largely we hear it at this time, especially in the season of Lent, for our elect and those to be received into full communion of the church with the church, because it's really a story that elicits or magnifies the reality of our continuing conversion towards Christ as well. Yes, we may have been united with him in the font of living water, but we also need to continue to move beyond those false gods that keep us from true worship of him, worship in spirit and truth. And so whether we've been initiated into the church or not, it's a gospel that calls us to deeper conversion and to really find in Jesus the true longing of our hearts.